Notification volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to More Than Meets the Eye. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today I have for you... Where did it go? Oh, Lord Sugar, what did you do with it? Here it is. Get out of the way. I have for you Transformers, War for Cybertron, Seige, APE-Face. He is what's known as a Horrorcon. Now, a Horrorcon is something that G1 Transformers did, where they released a few, I think it was 4 Transformers overall, that had horrific mutations. And they... Hi, Sugar. Yes. Lay down. Get out of the way of the camera. You got in the way of the camera last time. But they had mutations that gave them a third alternate mode that was more of a monster than anything else. And this one being APE-Face, his monster mode will be a giant gorilla. You're so loving. So, I'm going to talk about his robot mode today, and I want to try and keep these videos short because we've got 3 videos to do with him. He is a triple changer, and I will be doing a More Than Meets the Eye episode on each of his 3 forms. So, he comes with some fun accessories. He has this nice little bitty gun. I mean, it's not too small, but it's decent size. And he's got a decent head. Even he's a headmaster, so his head actually will transform into a robot. We will talk about that in his jet mode form when the robot head comes into play. The robot head also becomes the head for his ape mode. He's got some kibble, bad kibble on his back when it comes to his vehicle mode. I really don't like this kibble. I wish they had done something where it can like fold further, where it all would fold flat instead of this nose piece being one huge chunk on his back. That is a little upsetting. He's got decent knees, even though for the transformation they do kind of suck. You can't really bend them back too far. I mean, he could do that, but with this leg, yeah, he can sit, but it's not a double knee that we're used to with our other Transformers. He doesn't have double knees. He doesn't even have, does he even have double shoulders? No, he doesn't even have double shoulders, even though, if you could see by his arm, and I'll explain it, his arm is long enough, and there's this area that's just this huge shoulder joint. Had they taken that out and replaced it with 2 shoulder joints, we could have gotten pretty nice. And actually, it would have looked a lot better. Instead, we get this screw hole sticking out the side that you think is a siege port, but it's not. It's a screw hole. Siege port wise, speaking on siege ports, he's got 3 on each arm. He's got his little shield here. I forgot to mention that. That's part of his aircraft mode, but it becomes a shield. He's got 2 siege ports on his back. He's got no siege ports around his head, I think. Any of the, not even a little bitty rectangular one? No, not even a little bitty rectangular one. No siege ports around his head. He does have he should have a siege port on each of his legs. On the side somewhere. But there's so much texture here. That is something that I'd like to mention with him, is his texture on this. This is, okay. Yeah, the articulation's kind of crap, and this back panel keeps falling off. It doesn't have a deep enough peg, but the texture on this dude is pretty gnarly. It's nice texture. I love it. You can feel all this really cool stuff on the back of his leg, and it goes all the way around. Like, they did not skimp out on the molding of this texture. You get this nice knee little bit that sticks out, and it's even got a bit on it. I think that's part of the transformation for one of the modes, but it still has molded well enough to actually look and feel like he's wearing some really big boots that go up all the way to his knee-high boots. Even his waist, even his upper thighs have texture on them, which is rare for these guys. They normally don't bother with the texturing of the upper thighs, but here you actually get some texturing. I don't even know what that would be. It's on both sides. It feels cool, and it's smooth texture where you would expect there to be smooth texture for the plain mode, but rough texture where you Would hope there'd be rough texture. Oh, he's actually got a couple of... Let's see if that's a siege port. So we've counted out that he's got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the bottoms of his feet. I can't find any on the side of his leg, but I'm going to go ahead and assume they're there, and I'm just being blind. So we'll count them as well. So that's 8, 10, 11, no, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then I think there's actually a siege port hidden here. Let's raise his arm up. Does he have an underarm siege port? No, that's not a siege port. So, not bad, not bad. 12 siege ports. That's pretty decent. Very decent for a transformer of this size. Though I wish there were more, especially since this is siege. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? Other than that, he's a pretty nice guy. He's got good size, and let's get to his measurements, and then we'll call the video. So, the thing is, I don't really have much to say about this guy. Come here. Okay. So other than that, let's see. He stands. Now I always measure by the top of the head. I'm just like that. 17, 18, 19, 20. He stands 20 studs tall. That's not the tallest that a transformer could be. Let's get my friend Bumblebee out here. Bumblebee, are you hiding? Are you over here chilling with Wolverine? No, that's not a Bumblebee. That's a Bumblebee? No, that's not a Bumblebee. Oh, Lord. All these Bumblebees that I don't have. It has a cliff jumper. Oh, wait. No. Just took your gun, whoever you are. Oh, double dealer. Man. Everything's moved around. Cats, I swear, you guys need to do some more cleaning in here. Ah, here he is. Okay. So, here's our Bumblebee. And he took out APE-Face. So, let's get the Bumblebee in front of the APE-Face here. We get Bumblebee stands up to just above APE-Face's crotch area. So, to APE-Face's lower abdomen is where Bumblebee will stand. Here's a good comparison. We'll just raise APE-Face's arm above Bumblebee's head. We'll get a nice side. There's actually, really? Is that... Am I just making that up with my head? Or are you actually that... Oh, cool. So, on the underside of APE-Face's arm, there's this big hole, which I thought was a siege port, but it's not. Bumblebee's head actually stands almost to this hole. It's just right below it. So, give you an idea of how tall this guy is. That's pretty cool. Alright, you know what happens now, Bumblebee? Rear back and kick. There you go. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I know it hasn't been much, but this is the first of many when it comes to the Horrorcons as we start our Horrorcon season in preparation for Halloween. Until next time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.